Good day, everybody. Today we're going to do lesson plan 2, grade 1, term 2. Please note this is a revision lesson. So we're revising the work we've done in term 1. So we will have a variety of concepts in one lesson. Here you can pause and you can have a look at the curriculum. Then I want you to pause at the resources. Check which resources you have, and then the dictionary part. Remember, always this is for parents and teachers, um, to give you a bit of background knowledge on what we're going to do today. This is not for the learners to memorize or to remember. Let's then go to the daily routine and counting and mental mathematics. So the daily routine, you're going to ask these questions to the children or to your learners. Whose birthday is it today? What is the date? What is the time? Describe the weather outside. Stand up, show me left, right, up, and down. And then who's absent today? I want you to pause and do this activity. Now we're going to look at counting. So counting, we're going to count between the number range 0 and 20, and we're going to count in ones. Remember our counting library on SA Teacher eStore. Then what you can also do is you can use any concrete object at home or at school. And then we're going to count forwards and backwards 1, 2, 3, and you go 20, 19, 18. Remember, if you're only going to count as a rhyme, your child will maybe memorize the numbers but not understand it. So it's very important to make use of concrete resources here. I want you to pause and do this activity. Let's then go to mental maths. So mental maths, the number range is 0 to 10. And what I do here is you have 10 questions and you have the answers in red. I don't want the learners to see this. I want you to ask this to the learners orally, and you're going to give them the numbers and they must listen carefully. You're going to give them 1, 3, 2, and then they need to put it in the correct order from the biggest to the smallest. So they need to answer 3, 2, 1. I want you to pause and then do this activity. Then we're going to look at the concept development today, and we're going to revise certain concepts. So firstly, what you're going to do is you're going to give the learners, again, a variety of objects, anything from 1 to 10, and then you're going to ask them how many. See how they count it, make sure they touch it, they move it, um, and then what you're going to do is you can follow that then with pictures. Make use of magazines. Ask how many apples are in the picture, and so on. Anything up to 10. And then the second concept that we're going to do is, and you can get these cards from our resources on the SA Teacher eStore, is we're going to show them time cards and they need to place this then in the correct order. This is just in the introduction to the lesson. I'm going to go then, I'm going to scroll down. The first 3 columns you can just read through by pausing it. This is the link to the CAPS, but these are the main activities that we're going to do. So already we started to introduce that we're giving them counters, beads, blocks, stones to count up to 10. Then what we're going to do is we're going to give them some numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we ask them then to write it down. It doesn't have to be a book. Do it nice and big on a slate if you have a slate, or just on a piece of paper. Then what the next step you're going to do is to give them number lines, or part of a number board where they then going to fill in the missing numbers. Very important that draw this in front of your child. This is part of the lesson so they can understand how a number line looks like. Then lastly, what we're going to do is we're going to give them um, cards with morning, afternoon, night, early and late. Um, you're going to show the words to them. They don't have to read it all, but you're going to read it to them, and they need to make a sentence with each of these words. So you're done with your basic revision, but I'm still going to do it in different levels. So on your concrete representative abstract, most of it you're already done, but I'm just going to give you more ideas. So the first one is we're going to count out 10 objects again, and we say then the number names in sequence. You already done this activity where we're going to write and read number symbols from 1 to 5. You're going to complete number sequences like we did on the number line. And as they count on the number line, they place out objects. So if they say 1, they place one object underneath the 1. 2, they place a second object underneath the 2. Then you ask them how many objects, so they can see the relationship between the number line and the objects. Then what we're going to do is you're going to ask them questions like what happens in the morning, what happens in the afternoon, what happens during night. You're going to use the words early and late. So give them questions. You can also ask them to ask you questions. Remember, again, the concrete level is always where we use physical resources. Um, then we're going to go to the representative level. Here the focus is, yes, we still have a mix of the objects, but our focus is then um, working with number lines, the number board, um, make drawings of 5 objects. So if you counted 8 objects on this side, um, when we're busy with the representative level, you're going to draw the 8 objects. And then when we go to lastly, when we're going to look at time, ask them to draw any of these pictures, something maybe they like to do in the morning, afternoon, or night, just one picture. And then what we're going to do is we're going to complete the worksheet. So the worksheet is then on the representative level. We're going to complete this. You're going to complete number lines. You can cut the cards or they can write the numbers. Um, and then what we're going to do is, with your support, we're going to write down some keywords that matches these pictures. Then lastly, problem solving. We're going to revise. You can revise problems that did in term 1. Otherwise, you can visit SA Teacher eStore for problems, word problems and their solutions. Um, and then lastly, you're going to do the consolidation where you then go to tick a face. So the green, the child could do it. Orange, you gave the child some support. Red, the child is struggling. So if you have all green, you can move then on to the next lesson. If you've got red and orange faces, you need to revise, revisit, or you need to contact us at SA Teacher.